Greetings, crew. In this video, I'm going to show you about a method that students are using to bypass our DyKnow monitoring software. As you can see in my DyKnow window, I have a class open and I'm monitoring a student. And from my perspective, the student is on task. When we look at the student screen, we can also see that the student is on task. Now, when the student moves to a different tab, I can see that reflected on the right side of my DyKnow screen. It takes the image a little bit to catch up, but the right side of my DyKnow screen shows that this student is no longer in the place that I want them to be and is on a Google site. If I would like to know what Google site the student is on, I can enlarge their screen and it will refresh more often. And you can see this particular student is on an unblocked game site. Now, if the student decides to play a game, they can click the game that they would like to play. And all of that will show up on my image screen. It will also show me on my real-time activity tracker on the right side that the student is still on a Google site. Now remember, there are lots of reasons we use Google Sites, one of which happens to be for our student portfolios and work collection. This student has now decided to play the game full screen, and you notice that nearly immediately it shows on my DyKnow screen that this student is out of browser. And on the right side in the real-time activity tracker, it shows that the student is on something called About. This About blank, as you can see on the student screen, actually contains the full screen version of the game that the student was playing. The About blank is used to mask the URL so that we can't see what the student is doing. Unfortunately, there's really no way for us to block this activity. We can't block about.blank, and we can't block sites.google.com either because it's something that we use for many educational purposes. And a lot of the websites that you use in your classroom also source sites.google.com. So the reason that I'm telling you this is to make you aware that if you see that About in the right side real-time activity tracker in DyKnow, you can be 98% sure that this student is using the full screen method to mask that they are playing a game. To date, we have not found a useful reason for this masking. In other words, there does not seem to be any valuable educational sites that use this masking method in the same way that these game sites do.